Today, what I want to do is go over the Blackboard shell and statistics. This should go very similar with online as well as the face-to-face classes. So when you get into statistics, you should have a view that looks something like this. So you have a dashboard up here, content calendar, announcements, discussions, gradebook, messages, and groups. You have that. So those are some basic things that you'll see. Where we mainly focus at in the Blackboard shell is we kind of start with the getting started folder. So you'll open up that folder and then you'll go through the different topics in this folder. So that's the first thing you want to do is just kind of look at each piece in this folder, especially the simple syllabus. You want to be able to review the syllabus. And again, once you review the syllabus, I do get feedback that you have actually have read it. So if you start telling me things that aren't in the syllabus, then that kind of tells me that you have not read the syllabus. So that's a number one thing to do is please go over the syllabus. And it's always going to be in the getting started folder. So if you need to resort back to things like your how do I grade and things like that, what are some of those general things, you'll see that in the getting started folder. So that's the first thing you want to do. The one with the rocket, the MyLab, all assignments, that's where you'll do all your homework at. It'll be located in there. So you'll do that. MyLab statistics gradebook, that's where you'll look to actually see your grades. So when you click on that, you'll be able to see your grades. It won't be very easy to look at grades until you actually have grades in your gradebook. And then you can kind of start understanding how the gradebook works. As far as the way the semester lays out, it's in 5 basic modules: Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3, Unit 4, and the final. Those are your main modules. So this is where you'll find the resources at for each unit. So if I click on Unit 1, it'll open up, and Unit 1 is going to cover chapters 1 and 2. So you'll kind of see a little highlight here. So again, it does say, do the getting started folder first, and then it kind of describes what's in the folder. So there are PowerPoints that you can look at. So if I click on PowerPoints, it does have PowerPoints that are tied to chapters 1 and chapter 2. So that's a resource that you can use. There's also ebook links. So if I click on that one, you can click on like chapter 1 ebook. Now I've already opened mine up once, so it should happen rather quickly. If you have not opened this up, it may take a little longer to open, but you should be able to get into your ebook, and this should actually take you to chapter 1. So statistics, you may find that reading the book is very, very important. So there's a lot of things with inside here that you may want to pay attention to. So the ebook is a good resource for this class. Now, if you purchase guided notes, I'm not going to use those for the online class. The guided notes will only be used for the in-person class. So if you've not opened your guided notes and you are online, you probably want to take those back and get your money back, because I will not use those for the online class at this time. So let me see if I can close this out. Looks like there's a little area up here. I'll close that out there and it takes me back. So that opens up in a different tab. So always kind of pay attention to your tabs. This gets tricky sometimes of what you have here. So notice how there's this up arrow. If I click on it, it'll kind of close that back. So you have this down arrow, which means it's closed. If you click on it, open arrow means it's all open, and you can see what's inside the folder. So Unit 1, basically we have 4 weeks that we're in Unit 1. So notice how it tells you what your pace is. So week 1 begins on January 8th through the 14th. Week 2, you can kind of see the dates there. And this also kind of breaks down what's inside the folder. So in week 1, if I click on the down arrow, it'll open up there and it'll give me what's actually inside here. So it's got the study tips, and it also talks about random numbers using a calculator. So there's not going to be much in Unit 1 because it's really more about just reading the book. So you'll find reading the book or the PowerPoints appear as your main resources for week 1. So again, the PowerPoints and ebook links, these will be used for all 4 weeks of Unit 1. If I click on week 2, these are going to be resources. A lot of these are going to be links to videos that you can watch to kind of understand how to do material inside of week 2. So when you get into week 2, you're starting to actually do a little bit more math. So that's why there's a lot more videos, because there's more modeling to be done for that. And close that down. So notice how you just get to the weeks. You can click on the week 3. It'll open up the materials and you'll see the materials. These are the resources. So you have all that available to you for week 3. So again, to really get the most bang for your buck, make sure you take your time and actually do some material. You know, if you were doing an in-person class, you meet 3 hours a week in class, which means you should be doing another 6 hours outside of class. So you could be working up to 9 hours a week on your work. So keep that in mind, that, you know, if you're not putting closer to 6 to 9 hours a week on your class, you probably are not making much headway. So you really need to be making sure you're allowing a lot of time each week to stay at pace. So it's really important that you stay on pace, because if you don't, it's easy to get behind, and it's hard to catch back up, because then you want to start taking shortcuts, which makes it even more difficult, because there's really no shortcut in math. You have to stay on pace. So once I'm done with Unit 1, what I can do is then just kind of close it back out there. So if I click on that, see, it'll close it back out. So if I click on Unit 2, it'll open it. If I click on Unit 2 again, it'll close it. Click on Unit 2 again, it opens, and then notice how you have these down arrows on these folders. So if you click that down arrow, it'll actually open up what's inside that folder. So you'll see that these are going to be links to the actual book for Chapter 3 and Chapter 4. So that's kind of what you got going on inside here, is these different units. So you'll kind of see through all that. My Lab Statistics is bottom folder. It just has some other resources you may come across. So feel free to study these and browse through these folders here. So usually if you're having tech issues, you know, this is a place to kind of go. Most tech issues can be fixed. One is you should not be using a Chromebook or tablets. Those usually are not very compatible with the course. The other thing is, you know, if you have a TI-84 calculator, I'm going to model a lot of math through the TI-84 calculator. So that's going to be important. What else could I need to bring to your attention? I believe that's about it. So that kind of is where you need to be, is here. And the Getting Started folder is going to kind of be the first thing you do. And then you're going to move through the different units. The units will be your pace. Notice that the last day of class will be Wednesday, May 1st. So once Wednesday, May 1st comes into play, you will no longer be able to access the course. The course will actually close down. So on Thursday at midnight, the course, you will not be able to access it at that point. Well, thanks for your time, and best luck throughout this course here. If you need me for anything, I have a lot of contact information. Most of it's inside the syllabus. And again, the syllabus is going to be found under Getting Started. So the syllabus will be right here. So if you click on that, you'll see the syllabus itself. So it gives you my contact information. So email is probably the biggest way of connecting with me, but also you can text me using this number here is my text number. I am also available to meet face-to-face. I have a lot of time throughout the day that we can meet face-to-face if you're needing some one-on-one help. All righty. Best of luck, and we'll see you throughout the year. Take care.